This is the evening session. We've already had one match today. Europe versus America. Jason Shaw won that point. Now we've got another battle. Europe versus USA. FSR versus SVB. Joining us for this match, AJ Manis's biggest fan, the Freezer, Scott Frost.
Yeah, take it easy. I think we all agree that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how good that young man's potential really is.
Yeah, we'll talk about AJ as this match unfolds here. We'll sing his praises as SVB, the best breaker in the world, doesn't let us down.
Yeah, and he really seemed to get into those a little bit more. Jeremy was touching on it, or we were touching on it earlier. I think he might have been taking some speed off. He plays with that off and on, and he'll do it throughout the match. Firmer, easier, firmer.
What's he got here? Not a great deal. No corner pocket is available, so there's going to be some sort of hook.
Yeah, maybe banking it up behind the 8 and laying over behind that wall on the right side. 2, 6, 3.
Believe he's left a piece of the yellow.
Yeah, the big problem there was always the cue ball. Could you slow it down more than the object ball? If you're leveled out, it seemed like a tall order to fill. I believe this is cuttable to the top left. If it is, I think you try to knock it in.
What are you saying? You can see the whole ball. I see.
Well, not the way he's lining up, I guess. Well, I guess he could see the whole ball.
Yeah. Tried to pinch a little bit as well. Shane's got a tricky little positional shot coming up. This one ball's deep in the hole.
Yeah, notice that ball open up, right, Carl? We talk about it all the time in the corners. You got to catch them a lot thinner than you think.
Yeah, just a hair thick. And then the slide just pushes it a little wider. Just making a good hit, hoping he survives.
Did real good from there. He's probably going to try and nip him behind the 7. I'm going to probably get in trouble here, but Eklund Kachi wants to say something. I'm going to let him speak. He's a little bigger than I am.
Keep it clean, Eklund.
I'm just looking at Shane. Did he decide to grow his hair?
All right, that's enough for Eklund.
One and done for Eklund. That's his commentary career over.
Don't quit your day job, sir.
I think he's talking about Shane's fresh trim. We had a coffee with him this morning, Freeze. He's been to the barbers, got himself up for day one, the rest. And he actually spoke about last year's event, didn't he? He was on about he liked it in the pool room because between matches and sessions, he could go and practice.
Yeah, Shane never a shortage for practice.
Well, kicking again. Gets away with it.
Bran real good at dragging this ball behind the purple 5 if he chooses to. He doesn't have to. He's got a wall if he wants to bring it down table. Really one of the best at that low outside drag, nice and softly.
Yeah, that gives you an idea of the middles. The overhead looked like it was going to fall in the side. Didn't. Don't know what Shane's got here. Don't know. Can he cut this in real first? Got to be thin. Watch out, cue ball.
Yeah, this is long gone. Shane a little bit frustrated there. I think he had to be a little relieved that he even had a look at the two. Easily could have fallen in the middle like Carl touched on. Yeah, that needed to travel about 3 more rotations. Just seems like he's been a little off today.
The paddle tennis got him yesterday. 8 of us went to the course, didn't we, Freeze? And maybe he's a little sore.
Oh, your fault. That's a given. Typically is.
I think I'd have liked to have seen Fran put a big draw stroke on that ball then. Get it flying around the table.
Small pocket to punch forward on. You can lose the cue ball in the same corner. It will bend. So I don't expect him to use a high ball here.
Here we go. Zippy. Watch out, 9 ball.
Wow. You really don't expect to put a 16-foot stroke on that ball and end up behind the 9? That's, hard to do.
It's funny how you can always seem to find that spot, though. If you told him to put it there, he could stay there for a week. Is he going to get away with one? I don't believe so. He's going to sit up near the middle for Shane. How do you like that? Yeah, and a little bit of help from his opponent. Shane wins the opener. Similar position to what he was last PLP, Scott. He's just that type of guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is that type of guy. And the more he plays, the more he seems to practice.
On the other table, 2 tables in action all week. Robbie Capito, currently 3-2 up.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the best of Edward today either. Sure, he's got more in the bag yet to win a match.
Capito on the other hand is playing some nice stuff, and what I like about Capito is he looks really up for it, to be fair. I know, all the players are going to be up for it, but he's just giving off that vibe as well. This could be dry. It is dry. The 8 ball rolling there on the last revolution has just helped FSR. Look at the 8. If it doesn't land there, Shane will attack the cut.
Yeah, very, very good point.
Here comes the push. You can do anything on the push. You can pot another ball. You can pot the 9. If you do pot the 9, it goes pretty much where it is right now on that spot. The big thing you've got to be aware of is now Fran. He's going to accept the push and play the shot or pass it back. So play or pass. I always feel like SVB, certainly since I've started doing commentary, Scott, not so much, when I competed, didn't really watch much, but the last sort of 5 years since I've been in the booth, I really think he's the best at the push out, to be fair.
Well, he's so great at all the other games, and I think growing up in the States had a lot to do with that. Not only is he the best 9-ball player, in my opinion, to ever come out of America, which is a strong statement, but he's also, don't get it twisted, one of the best straight pool players, one-pocket players, bank pool players, all-around players there is. You gain a lot of experience with the push-out and situations from something like that.
And look, he gets the push-out given back to him so often, and look at the shot he's played.
I think a lot of times he tricks his opponent into thinking he's going to stay aggressive.
Had to find the rail and sort of hug the rail. FSR's not daft. He'll have known the shot, but he didn't fancy the shot, did he? He didn't fancy getting the one ball there. Well, he's been left a little gap and consider himself very, very fortunate. He's kicked it in as well. I believe he's played that. He'll go around for the short cue, though.
Yeah, there's several highlight reels looming around with Fran playing shots like that. I don't believe it was any accident, Carl.
Well, there may well be another highlight shot coming right up. Look at how deep the ball is. This is a very good pool table we're playing on.
Yeah, this is what we're looking for the people at home. The game has become a little bit too easy in the format that this is one you don't want to hit too hard. The cue ball can arc. Yeah, see how smooth he got through that ball to really carry the line that he was looking for. I hate touching on it, but did he get a little bit awkward? I mean, he's so talented. He overcomes this without any trouble, I'm certain, whether he takes distance or just punches out. He took the distance, a little awkward again. You can see on that last line. Carl, how close was Shane to number 6 last year in Atlantic City?
Yeah, that's the one goal that he's desperate to reach. 6 US Opens. He's tied on 5 with Earl the Pearl Strickland and lost in last year's final to Fedor Gorst. It was such a big final, wasn't it? Such a big setting. Remember it well. The crowd was there. There was a great atmosphere. Fedor Gorst was going for the big 3, the World Championships, the World Pool Masters, and the US Open in the same year. Never been done, ever. And obviously Shane was sat in the other chair going for 6.
Yeah, that was quite intense. I think the only thing that rivals that would have been the World 9-Ball Championships in Jeddah. Both great experiences.
Yeah, the arena in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It was fantastic, wasn't it? You had the sort of the presenter area on that raised platform in the center of the arena. Obviously a quarter of a $1 million to the winner. And it just shows you what you can achieve in the game of 9-ball in a pool tournament. Then big matches, then big finals. Yeah, this is the view of the room. A couple of practice tables. Eklund Catchy on the right. We're literally just sat right behind him. We could pretty much grab his cue.
Well, speaking of him, Carl, I was walking in with him, and I'd like to say that Eklund and I are pretty friendly. We've got to know each other quite well. He was a little bit complainative, if that's a word, on the pocket size, which was a bit surprising to me. I felt like a guy like him would really eat a table like this alive, but he didn't sound real confident about it.
Well, that just shows you he's not quite in tune with his game for me, because there's no reason.
To your point right now.
Well, he's working away on the practice table, trying to get used to the pockets anyway, but a little surprising.
And that cue ball died once again. Jeremy and I were touching on this last match. Shaw had a safety against Steyer. Last match that Jeremy and I did together. Shaw tried to go forward on a save just like this, and the cue ball just kind of died off of it. Left Steyer cut to the middle. Seems to happen a lot with that high cue ball. Called an extension. Yeah, I don't know if that's what he wanted. Everything off there. Just doesn't look on, does he, Carl?
No, gift for SVB.
A little bit surprising to me. I felt like earlier today he real solid. Missed a odd ball here and there, but missed a big 5-ball towards the end versus Bongers. And I feel like that might have affected him a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if you're playing a few matches in a day like they are here, and you get to a bit of a ropey start, it just seems to continue. I know you can't see table 2 because we're focusing on this table, but a match just starting out between young Moritz Neuhausen and young Sanjin Perlovanovic. You can see Moritz at the table there in the distance. Well, Perlovanovic missed a thin cut on the 3-ball, very makeable shot. You would expect these boys to knock in, but he missed it. And he's missed a lot of balls in the last 2 matches.
Yeah, and there's another one that had a really great performance last week, right? Has nothing to hold his head down about, and just hasn't seemed to be there, the hometown boy.
Yeah, maybe it just shows you how good the creme de la creme are, because they're the ones that are more consistent.
Well, and could it be a difference in the pocket size, right? I mean, this really might expose what you're touching on right there, Carl.
Yeah, you know Shane Van Boning better than most. You know, he's grown up in America playing. He's played on every size table, every size pocket. What's his view on all the pocket sizing?
Well, you know, all the things I hear him talk about. One thing he 1/2-inch pockets. Now, that being said, he was playing a lot of 10 ball and had the best break on planet Earth. So he was making 3, 4, 5 balls on the break and squatting the cue ball. But when you execute like Shane Van Boening, I don't think these pockets are ever going to run you off.
Yeah, I just feel like, if you're the better player out of two, to me, you want to be playing on a smaller pocket, don't you? That's my view. Maybe it's wrong.
Pretty cut and dry. I do think the tactical player a time or two might step out of the retirement box, because they're going to get a few more opportunities and maybe think that they can tactically play, but you still have to make the ball at the end of the day.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, pool's about potting balls, isn't it? A window, it kind of looks like there is for Shane. One ball at the middle point.
And the balls always seem to know who's executing a little bit better. He just wants to avoid the pink, obviously, and the right side pocket, if he does have the window to make it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Wonderful cue ball control as well. That's a massive weapon in his locker. Didn't let me down there, Scott. Cue ball landed where you would put it if I give it you in your hand. Yeah, you can see he thumps that ball in, just get the cue ball down table, give me an angle on the pink 4.
Something else spectacular about him is his staying power, right? What he did last year at this event was, pretty astonishing with all the practice he put in. But he's known to play these long distance rotation matches with people nearly half his age and still can come out on top. There's something to be said about it. Obviously, his training at the table has something to do with it, but his willpower to win, well, it's second to none.
Yeah, growing up, very young, playing pool, practicing hour after hour after hour. Kind of what you need to do to reach this level. Yeah, the 7 ball rattled and still fell. So, we can talk about these pockets all we want, but, if you hit them okay, the pocket will still swallow the ball. Just witness that. Oh, that might have skidded, Not sure.
Actually did look like it flicked a little bit. I'm pretty sure it did, but he had an inside ball on it like he was checking it up, which is a little surprising there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the previous shot on the 7 just made him think twice as well, because the 7 didn't go in clean. You can still be thinking about it, can't you, when you get down on the shot, but it's almost like you don't really show the shot any real respect because you've done it 1,000 times.
And also, when two commentators are speaking so highly of you, it rarely ever works out in our favor.
FSR, well, he would have been convinced he was about to go 4 down.
Tell you what, a couple of shots that Moritz Newhouse is going to come with on table number 2, and nothing short of spectacular. He's going to have to come with one more. Yeah, I can't blame him going this way.
Yeah, you didn't see the fluke he had on the blue too. It was tremendous.
Thought he kicked it in.
Yeah, he did, but still lucky.
Well, he played it.
Yeah, good luck.
Luke.
I'll give you 10 goes at that.
Well, he played it, Carl. And the following shot after that was solid.
Is there a gap? It's a little tight one. Anyway, back to the action. SVB to break. Both.
Where he's putting a cue, you think Shane's probably going to take it from there. He thinks he can edge the 1 and get over here on this right side of the table behind that little cluster. That's more like it, probably. I think a little more difficult for Shane to take it from there. To the right of the pink here on the bottom rail, I don't think that's the right move. Shane's going to take that pretty quickly and just wedge you up behind the 7 and 9. Okay, he's going to go here. If he goes far enough, Shane might not take it. Yeah, I'll be surprised if Shane passes this up. He can flick it over to the top right corner. I don't know. Cue ball stays 2 rotations to the left. SVB takes this for sure. Might be a little awkward on this edge. Is the kiss in the way, Carl, if he tries to nip it to the left long rail and back down towards the purple? Cue ball.
Yeah, he's having a good look. He's weighing up all his options. Always seems to like to shoot the ball, doesn't he, as well? Doesn't often give it back. Here we go. Well, I bet he wishes he'd give this back now.
Yeah, he put right-hand English on that ball to avoid the kiss. That's how he came crashing towards the 7. So the kiss was probably always there using center ball. Therefore, maybe you should have given it back. Pretty good thinking by FSR.
Amazing, is it? One little error. You know, Shane's playing really good. He's got FSR on the ropes. Just one little error can just switch it all up.
Yeah, in this distance, he got the most out of it there. But that's all due to how flat he landed on the 2 forward with a tip of outside. Oh, that was really quick, right?
That was nasty, wasn't it?
Yeah, something's way off with him. And you could start with his timing.
Yeah, you just knew, didn't you, Scott? You was calling the shot. You could tell where the cue ball had finished. He had to hit the centre pocket and just deliver the cue through.
Almost feel like he was in between strokes right there, right? Like last minute, he decided maybe he should just come over and out or just try and hold the cue ball, because you rarely see him do something like that. That stroke.
Match to go on the main table after this one. Excellent catch against Alyosha Yap. Both players are just warming up right in front of us. And, you know, I think from what we've seen today, Scott, Shane's been consistent. He's been there and thereabouts, hasn't he? He seems to be in that top bracket. I think Shaw, I think Chua, I think Tyler Styles played well from what we've seen. Capito. So we've got them 5, I believe.
I actually think Capito's breaking as good as any of them, from what I've seen. Can obviously change quickly.
Yeah, we've not seen much of Yap, have we? He's playing on the main table next.
Always seems to be quiet, doesn't he, Yap? Gets the job done. Such a great player to watch.
Yeah, and a little bit like Catchy. I think he's lost a few pounds as well. Ready for the new season. Big year ahead for these professional pool players. Well, SVB, the second time of asking, got himself on the hill. Grinding away, Sanjin. Been very much of his B game today, so he's got to just grind a win out, grind something out here. Just so he can sleep well tonight.
Yeah, well, the beauty of this format is, you know, every ball, game, and match that you win, the more pool you're going to play. Maybe he can get comfortable at some point, get back to where he should be. $15 matches in total. Each of these guys will play. There's that break you talk about a lot, Carl.
Yeah, hit that one very good. Don't know if he can play the combo. Depends how thin this 2-ball is. Looks very thin.
Yeah, can somehow get away shooting the 2 into the rail and the 3 at the same time, and maybe dragging down behind the 6 and 9, maybe even towards the 8, somewhere back there. I don't know. Combo, as Carl just touched on, extremely thin. So close, he might be able to manage. I think he's looking at the shot I was just talking about. Basically, Carl, right? You're like wedging the 2 into the back, the 3 and the rail at the same time, and trying to just tuck down between one of those balls, the 8 or the 9.
Yeah, I was with you, Scott. I think that's like the first shot that kind of sticks out, you know, that obvious one. Just wonder if he sends it into the rail. Could the 2 squirt over near the pocket and maybe go in the pocket?
Well, yeah, I mean, I might have to ask him afterwards, but that was a good call, Carl. Really good shot right there, because I didn't feel like it was even getting close. So I think he played one of those 2 balls, or insurance. If he gets one of them down, he's going to have the other.
Yeah, it was definitely causing him some concern, wasn't it?
He's such a crafty player. There's definitely a chance that he played that shot. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of the time when he delivers the cue, he does that thing where he moves his sort of left arm on the table. He's always done that. Let's see if he does it here. No. Maybe it's certain shots.
Oh, here we are again, though. He just a touch out of line. He's all right to come back and forth or hold.
On the back of his shirt, you can see FSR. And where the R is, it says 91. That's like his sort of logo that he's brought to life. That was the year he was born. I'm just wondering how long it's going to take until that disappears. He's not going to want the world to know he was born in 1991 at some point, is he? Thinking when he gets to about our age, he's got, it's that 40 mark, it's game over.
Our age. So you're putting you and I in the same age group now.
I'm feeling kind.
Thank you, Carl. He got it done. Nice rack from where he was.
Yeah, staying alive, but he's going to have to fade the SVB break.
Yeah, at least once.
That is the next match coming up. That's why both players are warming up. That will be the last match of the evening, last match of day one. And the last match on table 2 is well underway. Neuhausen is 3-1 up over Pelovanovic.
Yeah, and this could turn into a bit of a nightmare for Sanjin if he doesn't figure something out. This format can really compile on you at times where pressure actually gets even stronger. Match after match, you end up losing. Wow, how did the cue ball get through there? Sure, we'll get another look, but what happened? I felt like he hit those really good. He caught the bottom, the purple, so maybe a bit thin on the one, even though it went.
Having a good look, isn't he, Scott?
Yeah, just evaluating exactly where he wants to be on the 3. Guess he's going to go up table with it.
He is signalling he's not happy with that.
Is he worried about the right side pocket now going forward? I don't think it's a problem. You can cheat this a little. Must be steeper than we think. And he would know best. He's over the ball.
Yeah, if anything, it kind of just tells you that he is slightly off a little bit just because he's second-guessing things, isn't he? He's up and down. Pelovanovic is having a complete mare today. That would be the best way to describe his day. He just missed another ball in the side pocket. I know you're not watching that table, but we have the luxury of a couple of screens right in front of us. Treat this one with care, FSR. There's that arm movement on the slate.
This though, boy, everything just a bit tricky. Probably coming to the short side or the right side of the 7 now. Nice recovery. Looking better as time goes on.
Yep. He's hanging on in, isn't he? SVB was a little bit unlucky to scratch on the break. So that will mean FSR's breaking next. We're playing alternate break. Race to 5. 16 players. Everyone's going to play 15 matches. Top 10 will qualify. We'll say bye-bye to the bottom 6. And if Pearl Advantage doesn't book his ideas up, we'll be saying bye to him as well.
Yeah, well, Newhausen must have gave it right back up after Sanjin missed the 2.
Yeah, if Sanjin can just get a win here, you know, coming into tomorrow, Friday, feel like he'd have some of his buddies coming to sweat his action, wouldn't you, Scott? So it would be a big match here, a big ending.
That's something I was very impressed with, is how he handled the crowd last week in that big arena. You gotta wonder, is it maybe a little deflating early today without all the fans? Will he get better as it goes?
Well, Ruiz has a look at this one ball. He has a job to do here. He's got to knock these balls in and then sit and sweat the SVB break in the decider.
I think he's got to go forward here. Can he go forward? If he's too straight, then he'll just stop. I think he has to go forward.
Yeah, he put a real good stroke on that ball.
I know this looks easy, but you've got to be extremely careful trying to go forward. So maybe, oh, he's got a great angle to just come out.
Yeah, he's got closer to his work.
And look at the flow, right? The timing's starting to really look like it's ticking well. There's the shoulder again. That little lunge that he does from time to time.
I'll tell you what, Scott. He's done well here to get a hill, hasn't he, really?
No, he's like come out of a deep fog, right? And just really started to time it all together quite nicely. The flow is looking good. He's got to dodge this big break from Shane Van Boning at 4 games apiece.
Table 2, they're playing their last match of the evening. The tight one. That's the situation we have right now. The pink 4 and the 8 ball, if you look at them 2 balls, they're tied up, so there's work to do up there. Sanjin's at the table. He can slot the blue in the right centre. Can he hold for the red 3? Even if he can, what's he going to do with the pink 4? May play safe. Cue ball in behind the purple. That's what he's done. Well, Moritz will be kicking at the blue 2. We'll let you know how that match unfolds. But back to the last rack. Shootout, SVB to break. Needs this rack to remain undefeated on day 1.
And there goes that cue ball down towards the lower left again 2 games ago. Scratched in that corner. Yeah, so he's catching this lower ball, Carl. I don't think that's what he's drawing up. Hill, it's never straightforward, right?
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, what do you play?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot when there's an open ball, typically meaning the cue ball to the object ball that's next in line. You don't see a push out. Is this one of those situations? Yeah, and here he goes. Just wants a little better look at the 2.
Yeah, what do you think he's weighing up here? Let's try and guess if he gets the shot back. Because he's rolled it, what, about an inch?
Yeah, I'm thinking if he can cut it to the right middle, then that's what he's going to do. But I don't know that he got there with that. If not, what is he thinking? Just drift it over behind the green and the pink? We're going to find out.
Another push out by SVB. And another push out where he's got to play the shot.
I think he can bank this up and down towards the 9 and maybe swing the cue ball behind the pink if he can beat the right side pocket. If not, maybe drift it over behind the 6. Yeah, up and down.
He's outsmarting his opponents. Granted, he didn't get the hook. You're not always going to get the hook, but on reflection, pretty obvious shot.
Yeah, it really was, actually. I mean, if I can find it, FSR automatic. But to your point, Carl, he did not get the snooker, and if Fran can see the left side of the 2, should be able to do some damage here, or at least the left half of the 2. Might even go all the way out at the bank here. Bit surprised at this pace. He's done it again. He did this early in the match, Carl, with the yellow 1.
Yeah, I mean, he may think he's been a bit unfortunate, but at this level, it's a poor shot.
Yeah, why don't you just go ahead and play that ball to the top right? You've got such cover. You happen to get it down, you're going to get a look at the 3 to the top left corner. And once again, maybe just a lack of that confidence that we're talking about.
How's this going to sit up? In fairness, he's not had the best of form in this match. That is a useful nudge, and has it come at the right time? There you see the pink 4 goes past the 6 as well.
Yeah, does he have to do anything with the cue ball here? Definitely got to cut it to the side pocket.
You could just hear a little round of applause. Pelovanovic has tied that match up. That's turning into a big old point on the other table. He's in between shots here because he's having a good look.
I almost thought it was more natural maybe to just draw down off the side rail, but oh, well, he was dead straight into the side. The angle fooled me.
There is a bit of angle here, though. Still got to get this one right, Scott. Yeah, you could see how soft he hit it. And you know better than anyone, when you're behind that shot, these guys make it look easy. It's a steep little angle he had there. Killed the cue ball nicely. 2 rails back out to where it is now, probably a little higher. Here she comes. Wants this ball to keep rolling. He'll power this off the one rail. That's the top rail. Back down. Leave yourself straight on the 7. It's game over.
Yeah, and something he does real well with this is he doesn't overpower it. Is he coming to the second rail here?
He is. I thought it'd have gone 1. But who am I to judge the GOAT? Even though I've beaten him in a final before, so maybe I should judge him.
You're here for a reason, Carl. You
No,
can
I
judge all you'd like. I actually thought he'd come one rail as well, though.
Oh, you thought the same, Scott?
Absolutely.
Okay. Little tester here. Passes with flying colours. SVB with the bridge to remain undefeated on day 1. Let's not forget he is the defending champion. And he gets off to a flyer here in Sarajevo. There's a fist bump. SVB beats FSR in a final rack thriller. Coming up in 5 minutes' time, Eklund Kachi against Alyushas Yap.